the founder of Geltrude and Company, Dan Geltrude. Dan, thank you for joining me. Dan, what do you make of this? They're like, oh, higher salaries. This is great. You got to find the positives in a negative, right?
What is happening here, Stephanie, is keep in mind that Joe Biden really wanted an increase in that minimum wage to $15 an hour. He couldn't get it, at least so far. So this is a backdoor in getting those wages higher. Create inflation, create a shortage of workers, and then you put companies, employers in a position where they must pay more in order to get employees. So the silver lining that CNBC is making reference to, in their minds, it is. They got much higher wages, which was an intention of the Biden administration.
Yeah. But you think of like the long-term effects, that means probably employers, if they're paying more for employees, the ones that they can get, when they can hire more, they probably aren't going to hire more. And also, these employers were forced into it because they were competing against the federal government and all of these extended unemployment benefits. So it's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable. Let me tell you what's going to happen, because I see it with my clients and everything in the business climate right now. So employers have no choice but to pay much more for employees, overpaying, in fact. So what's going to happen is that will be temporary. Over time, employers will figure out how to use technology to replace those employees, or they're going to look to outsource, whether it's to Asia or India or somewhere else. And what's going to happen is these employees have priced themselves out of the market and are going to have to take a significant cut in pay down the road, or be back to being unemployed.
Yeah, and then I'm sure people are starting to notice that they're getting hit because of this. Look at your receipts when you go to the grocery store or when you go out to eat to the places that you used to eat. Things are significantly increasing. I'll give you an example. My favorite seafood place in La Jolla, California, it used to be $50 for two people for a lunch. Kind of expensive, not a super fancy place. You pick up your food at the counter, you go sit down, not a lot of service there. Last time I went there last week, it was $65 for the same thing. $65 for the same food. That is an outrageous amount of money.
It really is. And keep in mind, there's no direct correlation to say that the wage increase is going to stay steady with the way inflation is rising. So what's going to happen over time? Well, here, look at it this way, Stephanie. Really simple. Gas prices have gone up 50% over last year at this time. Have wages gone up 50%? So they're not keeping pace in terms of wages and inflation. So this whole excuse that inflation is good because it's bringing up salaries, it's not good.
Yeah, well, everyone gets hit by it. And so, again, I'm assuming this restaurant probably had to pay their employees more to get people to get back to work. Also, they're probably paying more for their products. So I want people to pay attention to the receipts if they haven't been paying attention to it. Now, I want to ask you about this. So jobless claims have unexpectedly gone up. And which is odd, because you'd think as we begin to reopen, people will be going back to work.
You would think so. Based upon how many jobs are available out there right now, literally everybody who wants to work should be able to work. And of course, you have 26 Republican states that have either gotten rid of those extended federal unemployment benefits or are in the process of doing so. So again, this is a situation where more people should be going back to work. Now, why they're not, well, that's a little bit of a head scratcher, but I still go back to say too many people are incentivized to stay at home to get paid as opposed to getting up and earning their fair keep.
Yeah, well, originally the excuse was that the vaccine wasn't out, so it was a risk for those who would have to go back to work. Well, vaccine's available. Go get the vaccine if you're worried. If you're still worried, wear a mask, do whatever you need to do to stay safe. But yeah, we need people to get back to work. This is, again, totally unsustainable. Well, Dan, we appreciate your insight. Thank you.
Thank you, Steph.